Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Titanic Honor and Glory. Today marks the release of Demo 3. So, new areas of the ship have been added and I think the Belfast area that they've been working on as well. So, I'm really excited to be playing through this. Let's get started. Yes, so we are in Belfast, Ireland. On April 1st, 1912.
First the train from London to Liverpool, then a short trip to the docks where I boarded the ferry to Dublin, then the long train ride through Ireland to Belfast. Not a bad ride, but excruciatingly long. Check in at the guest house in the town proper, quick supper, quick sleep, quick breakfast, and a hop on the local train here to the Holland and Wolff shipyard. Fortunately, it was punctual. I was worried about being tardy for being 3 hours early. My darling Claire always said to me, "Robin, you better get out of the house right now and go be useful for someone." She always did lovingly encourage me to show up for work early and give my best effort.
Alright then. Looks like we have some voiceovers too. And this is of course going to be a story-driven game, so that should come as no surprise, but I didn't quite expect it in the Demo 3. But it's really cool.
Titanic is likely no different from the Olympic. They're structurally identical. The Olympic underwent these trials months ago, so this should be a simple repeat. I board, observe her during the sea trials, vote aye or nay on her certification, and then I ride her back to Southampton. Come on, Robin, you can't mess this one up, as Claire always told me.
Alright, so we're in control. Awesome. Look at this train too. The graphics in this game are so good. They're actually really amazing. You can see the depth and the definition in the cobblestones here. Jesus Christ. That's an impressive piece of work. It really is. And this is a cool train too. I wonder, can we see inside? Well, kind of. And with all the graphics being so good as they are, I always kind of have to wonder as soon as civilians are added. Oh.
The weather broke, and now I've been given the opportunity to board the Titanic advance of the trials. This gives me a bit of time to really admire the beauty of the ship before I have to scrutinize every last aspect of her functionality.
Yeah, I kind of have to wonder about how good the civilians are going to look compared to how good this game looks at the moment. Oh look, we have cloud cover too. That looks really cool. Now I wonder how I'm going to get onto the ship, however. The water looks pretty nice too. Happy about that. And I suppose we're going to go the only way we can, which is away from the ship by the looks of it. But man, look at the size of it. That's absolutely awesome. And right now I'm running everything on Ultra. So yeah, graphics are about as good as they're going to get at the moment. They might still be improved, however, because they've been posting screenshots of this where you can see the difference between how the game looked in 2014 and how it looks now. And it already looks really good, and it looks so much better now. That is absolutely incredible, actually. So I can't wait to get on the ship and explore the inside, because the art passes that they've done on this, they're really beautiful. Now I'm kind of curious to see how I'm going to get over there. There's no boat or anything to get me on board, I think. Yeah, it's so cool though that they've decided to add Belfast as well. Not sure how much of Belfast is going to be explorable. I'm sure not all of it, but it's a really nice detail to start off on the ground and then be able to see, you know, basically the whole journey from start to finish. Alright, so walking speed is pretty slow. Let's go for a light jog. I have to kind of find where I have to go from here on, because it's not entirely obvious to me. I suppose it could be, but let's see, we have a notice over here. These shipyards are dangerous and therefore off limits to all non-employees. If you are here, it is with the express permission of Harland and Wolff or the officers of Titanic Honor and Glory. All environments are still under construction and will be improved for the final project. Neither Harland and Wolff nor the officers of Titanic Honor and Glory are responsible for any injury to non-employees resulting from falling debris, flying rivets, or the misuse of tools on these premises. Alrighty then, I don't see anybody misusing of tools, and I guess we have to go over there because I see a drawbridge up into the ship. Question is, how do we get there? Guessing we're going to go the other direction, and there's going to be an opening here somewhere. Maybe through the hole in the fence there?
I had better find my way aboard. But I suppose there isn't reason for too much haste. No one else has even arrived yet, it seems. Plenty of time to explore, if I desire.
Yeah, so we could cut straight across. We cannot go over in this direction, I think. I think this looks to be blocked. But we can try. We can definitely try. No, this is blocked. Alright. So Belfast will be interesting to explore, but I'm not sure how much content there is going to be at the moment.
I'm quite surprised by the amount of confidence the industry is placing into this ship. She's not even certified yet, and her first ticketed voyage is just a week from now. No room for failure on these trials, I suppose. It's like getting dressed up for a date when you haven't even begun your courtship yet. How do you know if you'll be rejected or not? I learned that one the hard way.
Well, I really like that there is already some storytelling here, because it gives me an impression of... Ooh, this door opens automatically, but yeah, it gives me an impression of where the game is going to go, you know, story-wise. And I'm mostly in this for the Titanic itself, like I already said in the previous video that I did on Demo 2, that the game could be shit for all I care, and I would still love to get it, because the representation of the Titanic seems to be really authentic to how the ship looked in real life, and that is what I'm primarily interested in. So if it's just like a walking simulator...
Belfast Lock is beautiful, with the hills around it and the morning fog. It reminds me of what I always imagined Puget Sound would be like. A man sure can make a living out in Seattle, if he can hold off the plague.
This is interesting though, and I'm guessing this is another yeah, that's another invisible wall. So we cannot actually go into Belfast at the moment. I think you're supposed to be able to go exploring it in the full game as well, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, like I said, this game could be shit for all I care, as long as I can get to explore the Titanic and experience the sinking. That is all I'm really interested in, and if they manage to build up an interesting storyline and gameplay around it, all the better. You know, that would be amazing, because that would be the perfect game, and I would willingly spend a shit ton of money on it. But yeah, time to get up on top, I suppose. Looks like we're going to be ending up on deck and being able to
do... doing all they can to extend my travel time. How do I find my way through this mess?
Indeed. We have to see as much as we possibly can, I suppose. We can go all the way around as well. We could take a shortcut, but I think they might be hiding something interesting. Or, actually, we have a second entrance over there. Interesting, that goes into the bowels of the ship directly. And, well, we already saw that in the previous demo. And of course, I'm wanting to see it again, but maybe the best idea here is to try to go up on the drawbridge and the deck. If that's not also blocked, because it might be. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the presence of this drawbridge. Maybe I am, but maybe I'm not. And if that's true, then we can walk around on the deck a little bit and have a look at something that we haven't seen before. Oh, that looks to be open. Awesome. That's cool though, that you have two ways to get into the ship. You have the bowel entry there and you have the deck. Or, actually, is that... Damn it. That looks to be blocked off after all. Oh, you teases. Jesus. This vessel has triple screws. Keep clear of blades.
Simply move these signs out of the way. This vessel has triple screws. Yes, I feel the same way right now too, thank you.
Triple screw. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. We can have a little peek though. So the Titanic is still being prepared for its maiden voyage here. It's not ready yet, hence all the boxes and other crap laying around the deck. Of course, once we get on the way, all of that is going to be cleared off and the Titanic should look a lot cleaner and more prestigious. But they definitely screwed me over with this one. Triple screwed. I like it. It's good. Alright. Time to go the other way then. Find the other entrance. But man, I can't wait to get onto this deck and then, you know, look through all the cabins and other stuff. Because most of these are going to be enterable, if not all of these, I think. And that's definitely very awesome. That is blocked. We have to go the other way. This seems to be blocked as well. So in between these cars. No? No. You have to go around here. Yes. So they made a little maze. Trying their absolute hardest to keep me away from the ship. They're not going to get me. Beware of trains. Yeah, nah. No trains are moving here. Unless they screw me a fourth time, there's actually going to be a train that runs me over as soon as I step onto the track, but I doubt it. Damn it, this really is a maze. How do we get there? So we have to get around here somehow. We can go in the middle. We have birds too. Lots of birds, actually. Of course, this is a good excuse for us to see.
Can't beat that train carriage arrangement. It really stretched my cognitive abilities. People simply aren't stimulated enough these days. Claire tells me that every night.
Yeah, it's a good excuse to see the entirety of the ship from two sides, and the back and everything. So that's okay, I suppose. That's what we're here for, after all. And what the hell? Ah, okay, here's the entrance. They made quite the mess.
Since the aft gangway is blocked, I'll board here through the first class.
Lots of coals on barges as well. Stoop, mind your head. Oh yeah. Any workman leaving the ship except by the proper gangway will be instantly dismissed. Well then. So, welcome to Demo 3. Press I to toggle info boxes, press T to toggle B and W. I'm not entirely sure what B and W is. Black and white, ah. Alrighty then, no, we're not going to do black and white. M or escape from menu. If you enjoyed this demo, please consider supporting us by contributing at TitanicHonorandGlory.com. Alright.
First class spaces should be accessible at the moment. But I may be able to venture down to third class for a spell through Scotland Road on E-Deck. I believe I'm boarding before anyone else. Robin, right now you're the most handsome man on the Titanic.
And I like the music as well. Through these doors, passengers from the tenders at Cherbourg and Queenstown would board the Titanic. Others would disembark at these locations. The first-class Sherbrooke tender Nomadic is the last remaining ship built for the White Star Line and is currently preserved in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Oh, interesting. And I'm also happy to say that I seem to be... oh, they're still working, aren't they? Yes, they are. Painting in big old paint barrels, I suppose, yeah. Wow. Frame rates are going down a little bit. D-deck reception room. In this room, first-class passengers would meet before entering the dining saloon for dinner. After dinner, tea and light fare would be served as the orchestra played tunes of the day. Well, I'm going to have to try to get rid of some of the special effects so we have a better frame rate. Well, it doesn't seem to be doing much at the moment, so we're just going to have to live with the lower frame rates. But I do hope they manage to fix this for the proper first release. But man, look at this. The lighting, the graphics, the overall feel of it is just amazing, isn't it? I don't know, man, this feels like one of the most photorealistic games that I've ever played, actually. And man, it just looks so good, you know? There's something about the graphics that feels incredibly real.
I especially commend them for modifying the bulkhead. I never cared much for what was on the Olympic.
Ah, and this is a reference. I think I remember them talking about the shape of these windows, because they weren't entirely sure what they looked like in real life, and they modified it to look like the Olympic, but maybe they changed it again, I'm not entirely sure. But there was something, like some parts of the ship that weren't entirely... yeah, they had trouble finding out what it looked like exactly, because the blueprints were a little off, or, you know, pictures, photographs were, you know, saying some, or looking like something else, so they kind of did the best they could in trying to make it as authentic as possible within their own interpretation of what it might have looked like. But for the most part, this ship is very authentic. So if I remember correctly, the first class dining saloon was not actually available in Demo 2 either, and it looks like we are slightly blocked off, but that's fine because we can see pretty much everything we need to see from this point. And let's have a look. Meal service in the first class dining saloon was included in the price of a first class ticket. Sunday mornings the rooms will be used for religious services, and the saloon was being set for breakfast during the iceberg collision. Oh, interesting. That was late at night. That was like 12 o'clock. Something, or close to it, if I remember correctly. But man, look at all the cutlery and all the glasses and things like that. That is absolutely crazy, the amount of detail that they've put in this. And of course there is a VR demo as well, the virtual reality. So if you have an Oculus Rift or something like that, then you can actually use that to have a peek around the ship as well and see everything in 3D. And now I kind of really want to have it, but I don't. French tapestry woven by Abuson for the White Star Line, based on the Chasse de Guy series. Pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it, but I can't do any better, so. And this is a cool detail as well, that you've got all this stuff over here that, you know, that are still working on it, and the idea that all of this was still being made like this, you know, that wasn't prefabricated or something like that, but that was actually, you know, all installed and then painted over by hand, you know, it kind of shows the incredible amount of work that they've had to put into this ship, and how beautiful it all looks with the windows over here. And man, many years, and certainly hundreds of thousands of man hours have been put into the ship, and then for it to sink on the maiden voyage, that's just so insane, you know. So in this room, first class passengers would meet before entering the dining saloon for dinner. After dinner, tea and light fare would be served as we already saw that on the other side. There's some dark areas of the ship as well. Through these doors, first class passengers boarded the Titanic at Southampton. Ah, so they were in a different side. These doors were ordered opened by Second Officer Lightoller during the sinking with the intention of loading lifeboats through them. However, no lifeboats rowed to them, and they only hastened the flooding. Oh, interesting. And I'm pretty sure, not since they... oh, that looks cool as well, with the letters on the ground. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that since the sinking is going to be in this game, and it's going to be in real time, we're also going to be seeing things like that. Like Sergeant or Officer Lightoller opening these doors, and then actually the water flooding in through them as well. Of course, that is simply my interpretation of it at this moment, but it definitely seems like that is going to be the idea there. So we could go up or we could go down, and I suppose we can go up first. See what is there to see. Oh man. Look at the detail on this wood carving. Holy fucking shit. I mean, and with this much detail in the ship, I mean, it's not hard to see why it would run kind of hard or kind of badly. At the moment, at least I hope they do some optimization passes on this, because I have a pretty damn good rig. You know, I play most games on Ultra with no problems, and I cannot do that with this. So, Burst's office. Inside this office is the ship's safe, where passengers can have valuables stored. Awesome. But yeah, you can probably see it in the video as well, like, I go up from 50 frames to 60 and then down to 30. Not below 30, however, so that's okay. But, yeah. John Farthing, servant to Mr. Strauss. The Strauss sitting room. Alan Bird, maid to Mrs. Strauss. We can have a little peek inside. This looks to be first class, because I remember these names. Yeah, co-owner of Macy's department store. These are all the rich people. Milvina Cornell, Charlotte Appleton and Caroline Brown. 3 sisters traveling home from their 4th sister's funeral. Oh, that is sad. And I guess they were all married, and that's why they have different names. That would make the most sense after all. But man, they have some great music in this. So relaxing and so fitting to the theme as well. And if you have claustrophobia, this is a terrible place to be. But Jesus Christ. These graphics, man. These graphics are absolutely incredible. Alright, so we could go to the other side of the ship from here, but I don't think I want to do that quite yet. And I'm not going to go through all of these names, but it is really cool that they have basically... well, they have a lot of names in the correct spot. You know, that took so much research, so much effort. And yet, they did, you know. And the ones that they didn't do, they had a Kickstarter, or they have their own private funding on their website, and if you fund over a certain amount, you can have your own name on one of these cabins. And that's really cool. You know, the ones that are not sure about, at least, you won't be replacing any people that they are sure were in that room. But, yeah. B-deck boarding entrance. From here, many first-class passengers boarded the ship at Southampton. I mean, you can see on the promenade, this actually reminds me of the movie Titanic, like the most recent one with Jack and Rose, and this is like one of those rooms they were having dinner in, where Rose's fiance flipped the dinner table, I think. B-deck. The clock will be set backward at midnight, 49 minutes. Alright, interesting. Notices. Please consider a contribution if you enjoy this early demo of Titanic Honor and Glory. Yeah, I definitely will. I need to find a credit card, but I already said so in the previous video that I was willing and interested in doing that, but I haven't done it actually so far. But this is definitely a project that I will want to back. And man, look at this. And again, the detail on this stuff is absolutely incredible. And I can only imagine what this would look like in VR. I mean, that would be a wet dream, probably. These stairs lead up to the grand staircase landings of A deck and the boat deck, as well as the lounge, reading and writing room and gymnasium. And we cannot go actually onto A deck, but so close, and this is the central area. Look at that. Wow. And again, the graphics on this game are amazing. And I set everything to high now to try and help with the frame rates a little bit. It works a little bit, but...
I shouldn't venture too far on deck. The Board of Trade members may board soon, and I'm expected to meet them.
I'm expected to meet them. Oh, alright. It's kind of cool though that we have an actual excuse to be on the ship by ourselves. I mean, I think that's really smart because, well, in the main game it's going to be filled with citizens and they might get in the way of details you might want to look at, but there is no real reason to be on the ship by yourself, except, you know, now we actually do have a reason for that. B51 to B101, odd.
Cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins.
Alright. Traveling with her maid, 14 steamer trunks, 4 suitcases and 3 crates of baggage. Jesus Christ. Do people travel big? And this is still theirs as well, I think. So, oh, that's his son. He has his own room. Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Ryerson returning to America due to the sad news of the death of their eldest son, Arthur Jr. That is really sad. Especially since they probably died as well. Not sure, but... It's interesting though that many of these people, they actually booked multiple rooms, not just a single one. But multiple ones, you know, and people in third class, they had to book a room and they shared it with other people. And yeah, here they are on first class and they just book 2 or 3 rooms so that everybody has their own private area, and that's absolutely crazy to me because that must have been so expensive. You know, they just didn't want to share anything. Alright, so we're on B deck and I
love the wood detailing here. It's absolutely perplexing. Now that's a craft I can really respect. Lovely wood. I've always been fond of wood. When younger, I used to cut wood for the poor folks 2 streets over. My neighbors started calling me Robin Wood. They always laughed, but I don't know why. I wore that title proudly.
Interesting. And again, Jesus, just look at all the wood carvings. It's absolutely incredible. And this time around we can get onto A deck, which is interesting. Francis Brown until he disembarked in Queenstown, Ireland. Lucky bastard. Oh, and we can go into this room. Excellent. I mean, with all this detail, it's not hard to imagine why this is running kind of sluggishly. And I suppose I can forgive it for that, but of course we want this to run as best as it can because, well, why wouldn't we, right? It will only help the game, will only be better, so I really hope they will. First class smoke room. A retreat for men to smoke, drink and gamble and talk business amid an atmosphere of smoke and mahogany inlaid with mother of pearl.
What a fine accommodation for the unwinding of the gentlemanly sort after a long day at sea. If only it were open now, and there were men in there to socialize with. Perhaps then I'd make some friends.
Alright. Perhaps then I'd make some friends. Well, you seem too eager. So no, you're probably not going to. But it looks really beautiful. To A deck promenade. And we cannot go onto the promenade at the moment. Eventually we will be able to. But not right now. Thomas Andrews, Titanic's shipbuilder, head of the Guarantee Group.
I see Tommy Andrews is already on board. Why does this surprise me? His drawings are scattered about like toys in a nursery. Well, I shouldn't intrude here any longer.
I think I saw this in the previous demo as well, and I think that's a really cool detail to have like the ship schematics and stuff like that. What is this? I can't read it. Is it alcohol or... Probably is, eh? Yeah, man. This is such an impressive project, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. We have all the chairs for people to sit out on deck. It's so crowded.
I suppose this won't be open anytime soon. A shame. I would enjoy nothing more than a cup of tea and to sit with a book in the lounge and... well, lounge.
In the lounge, passengers could gather to read, have refreshments, play board games and socialize in a room resembling a great palace in France. Wow. Well, that would be really interesting to see actually once it's finished, because, well, most of this already looks like a palace to me, but what do I know? I didn't grow up in one. Man. I just can't get over how awesome this project is, you know? It's so good. The restaurants. Café Parisien. Ah yeah, this was in the previous demo as well. This cafe is designed to resemble a patio cafe in France. Complete with artificial vines and windows open to the sea air, passengers could relax and order tea and pastries served by authentic French waiters who were indeed actually Italian.
It does remind you of Paris, though accepting the smell of overflowing sewage. Wonderful memories are coming back to me of that city.
Overflowing sewage in Paris? Really? Man, this is awesome. It's so beautiful. Just the graphics, like the shine on it, everything feels so real, you know? There's something just about the graphics, it just feels right. And you know, many graphics of, you know, modern games, newer games with modern graphics, they always seem very shiny and kind of gritty for some reason. And it sometimes makes it really hard to see all the detail that they've actually put in those games. Like, right now I'm playing the newest, or the latest Batman game, Arkham Knight. And, well, the graphics there are very good, but they're also very busy, and because it's so busy, it's kind of hard to notice all the detail and how good it actually looks sometimes, because I'm trying to see things that, you know, kind of get obscured somehow. And in this game, all the details are there, and it's shiny in just the right way, you know? It's not overly shiny, like this table right there. That's like the right amount to look good, and, you know, to feel convincing. The restaurant cashier's office. Wow.
Odd that this room would have its tables already set. Mr. Gotti hasn't even boarded yet. Oh well, top marks for presentation.
The a la carte restaurant. Unlike the first class dining saloon on D-Deck, dining in this restaurant is not included in the standard passenger ticket. For an added fee, passengers may order from a menu at any time between 8 AM and 11 PM. Wow. So if you wish to spend any more money, then you can. But of course, I suppose people that would dine here look even more prestigious than they already did. So I guess plenty of people actually did have their dinner here as well. I could imagine there are some rich snobs who would just forego the free dinner that was already, or not free dinner, because they already paid for it with their ticket. But I can imagine some people just foregoing that because they could dine here instead, and it looks like they're even richer than they are. And I suppose that is exactly what they would want to do. I don't know, I'm not a rich person, so who knows what they would do, but that's what I think they would do. Maybe that says more about my expectation about rich people than their actual experience of meeting rich people, but man, I don't know. I have that expectation. So the maids and valet saloon. First class passengers, personal servants took their meals here. But we cannot go inside at the moment. John and Florence Cummings, Wall Street stockbroker. So we have even more rooms over here. On C-Deck. First class barbershop.
I wonder if the barber will be on board for the run to Southampton. Lord knows I should fancy a shave after my journey here. Speaking of barbers, I'm quite glad old Harry is there to look after Claire while I'm away. They always were fond of each other, and when my son was born, Harry was particularly fond of him, never missing a birthday. See, this is the kind of friend a man really needs. His presence seems to even alleviate her hysteria condition.
Yeah, I'm not trusting that. It does sound like there's more going on than this character seems to know. I might be wrong, but that makes me very, very suspicious of me being on the ship and that guy being on my wife. Oh man. And this guy seems absolutely oblivious to that fact. Yeah, especially long hallways here, the frame rate seems to dip away quite a bit. Like right now I'm hovering around 30, 35. So the smaller rooms are actually fine. Once you're inside of those, then you can actually see you know, the frame rate go up to 60. But over here in the longer hallway, like the further I get to the end of this hallway, the higher the frame rate gets. So right now I'm hovering to 55, very close to 60 at the moment. Enquiry office. Here passengers could purchase wireless telegrams, store valuables, purchase tickets for the Turkish bath and other shipboard activities, and request assistance and information. Purchase offers, yeah, we already saw the purchase office, I think. So what we can do now is we can go down and see how far down we can go, because we saw this area. E-deck. This way to the first class cabins on E-deck and Scotland Road. Further down are the bath facilities. Cool. Laura Mabel. E-dock elevators, yeah. Locations in this direction include the mailroom and first class squash court. And they have so much stuff on this ship. You know, like it's a small society on its own. Locations in this direction include alternate first and second class cabins and the second class staircases. Yeah, all of these doors are closed, so we cannot go into them at the moment. Look up. Oh yeah, I remember this. That is really, really cool. And this is not something people would ordinarily do, so it's kind of cool that that reminder is there, because this does look really beautiful and definitely gives you an appreciation of the architecture and design that went into this ship. I think they did a really, really good job there. You can go even further down, but first, let's have a look over here. This is Scotland Road. Named after a street in Liverpool where many crew of the early White Star Line ships lived, Scotland Road is the main access passage for crew and third-class passengers. It ran the length of the ship along the port side, although what is featured here is only one section near the middle of the ship. Alright, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to have a peek through all of Scotland Road
This
as
is
well.
glorious. You can near well see half the length of the ship in this corridor.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And this is where the crew sleeps, I guess. Big difference from first class, isn't it? So the crew dormitory, ironically referred to as glory holes by crewmen of the time due to their often terrible conditions on other ships, these rooms full of bunks were where most of the crew called home for the duration of the voyage. Glory holes, really? I mean, that term has a different meaning nowadays. To boiler room 5. Oh man, I wish we could go in there. I'd love to see the engine room and the boiler rooms and things like that. Oh, this door is open. The boiler. Oh
dear, the door is open. Perhaps I'm not supposed to look in here, but I can't pass up this opportunity for a little adventure. Oh, if Claire were here now to see me being so daring. How by Edward did I get myself here? Climbing too high, I think. No, Robin, it's not your time to get your angel wings just yet. No, not just yet.
Oh man, this guy is hilarious. Oh crap! There's no falling damage, I hope. That's the way. So we look down the other way, and then we press S and we go down the proper way. But we can fly up these things like crazy. But yeah, I definitely want to go down here.
It's quite hot here. Where are the workers, though? Well, I suppose they're likely firing up the other boiler rooms.
I'm sure they are. Man, even the dirt and the grime on these things is convincing. And the steam, holy hell. This is absolutely awesome. Let's go the other direction. Let's see if we can see anything else from that side. No, we can. Yeah, we came from up there. But man, this ship is so claustrophobic, you know? Like, if you suffered from claustrophobia, this is definitely not where you want to be. And I suppose it makes sense, but even like this, you know? Look at that. You just kind of have to duck underneath, in between all the bulkheads and other things. Yeah. Oh man. This is so fucking awesome. This is actually really, really damn impressive. You know, to all the rivets being individually modeled on this thing instead of just being part of the texture, you know. Oh man. Oh Jesus. Now we have the coal. Can we... No, I want to go down. I want to go through all the coal and see all of that stuff in high definition and all of its coaly glory. Come on. Don't deny me this. You can see this room is finished. Let me go down. But no. We can't go down. That's too sad. Too bad. But I'm so impressed. This is in here as well. I mean, try imagine making this ship, you know, designing it, making sure everything fits together, all the pipes, all the power, all the water, all the steam, everything that is required to make the ship run.
Space looks like a fine spot for gathering and mingling between all parts of Europe as they make their journey across the pond to the New World. Perhaps a place on the west coast, like Seattle.
Oh man. You can tell that this game is a labor of love. You know, if you don't love this subject, if you're not absolutely passionate about it, it's impossible to get this level of detail and you know, the graphics and everything like that is just so fucking good. It's absolutely impressive. And as a person who was always interested in the Titanic as a kid, actually, I have free scale models, I have historical books, I have movies and series and all things like that. I have a lot of stuff concerning the Titanic, you know, and I kind of lost interest over the years because, well, you know, time goes on, you get older, new interests pop up and kind of take over.
On down to the food stores, crew compartments and stern of the ship. No need to go this way.
But this game is still an absolute wet dream for me. And this is just so cool. And I mean, I probably won't be able to stop playing if we get to the part with the sinking. If that happens, I just have to see the entire thing to its end. I can't stop, I can't save, I have to continue on until the thing is actually underwater and the game is over. So, third class dining saloon on F deck. This room is where third class passengers, primarily single men or men traveling in groups, would dine. As a safety precaution, single men were segregated from families, women and children and were quartered in the forward section of the ship. Why, are all single men rapists or what? I guess some people would say yes, but no. That actually looks really good. I want to take a bite out of the apple, have a little bread. I'm actually kind of hungry right now. And you can see, I mean, this is a lot less spacious.
Stark contrast from the first class accommodations, I should say, but still a major improvement from the other liners I'd inspected.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I envy these people in the most handsome man. The world is open to them. They move to America and build their future how they choose. They could be loggers, for example. But father wanted me to be a surveyor like he and his father. No logging for you, Robin. Now wash your ears.
Why would you want to be a logger instead of a surveyor? Doesn't make much sense. Oh Jesus! Look at the reflection on the thing here. It kind of changes when I look up and down, but wow. But yeah, you can definitely see there's a big difference from first class, but this still looks really good. You know, you got some really pretty chairs, nice tables, and even though you're sitting in here like, you know, like pack rats, basically, I mean, I would eat here and be happy, you know? I would be perfectly satisfied. This is so cool. This way to the third class pantry and galley. Alright, well, we can't go there, so I guess we've seen everything we can see. Well, we haven't been in this area, but I guess we have, yeah. Let's go back up, because I saw another area that we could go down into, I think, right? We went over in that direction. There was another room here somewhere, another door. We came through here. There was something looking or leading in the other direction, I think, so... There's this part. That part. Ah, okay. Yeah. I see now. I see now. I guess that's all we can see on Scotland Road for now. But we can still go back inside the ship, and then we have another staircase down. Not entirely sure what we will be able to find over there. And did we check out this area? I think we did. Francatelli. This just goes back to the stairs and mail room, first court. Yeah. We've been there before. And you can see this is kind of like the end of the really luxurious staircases. And now we go down to the more regular ones. Different deck of the ship, F deck. F deck is the lowest deck of the grand staircase. There are no first class cabins on this deck, and apart from the floor of the squash court, no first class facilities below this deck. This way to the plunge bath, swimming pool. A watertight door is beyond this door. And this is the sauna, I think, or the Turkish bath cooling room. This richly appointed room is where passengers would go to cool off after a rigorous bathing process.
A nice Arabian motif with cooling colors as passengers relax after their time in the baths. But what a poor state these workers left it in.
A locker. Dressing rooms, I guess, or changing stalls, yes. Please contribute to us at www.titanichg.com. I want to. I do. Electric bath. What the hell is an electric bath?
Is that lucky dog testing out the electric bath? And I believe I see a sliver of the plunge bath as well.
Oh yeah. Look at that. A swimming pool. The plunge bath. It's empty now, but... it's so cool, man. This is so good. Weighing machine. Really? And a banana. Weird place for a banana. Used by passengers to compare weights before and after a session in the baths to see if they were able to sweat off any weight. Ah, interesting. Well, I don't think that's how it works, but... Alright, what else is there? We have storage. Yep.
I'd hate to be corded back here in such a cramped cubby. The walls bearing down on you like all the troubles, hopes, and deepest desires you dare not dwell upon.
Oh man, this character. I kind of like him. He's funny. In this, you know, very unintentional way. Doesn't mean to be, but... Jesus. How can you not laugh? Alright, so we went over here as well. I think we've seen pretty much everything there is to see in this demo now. Not entirely sure. But, I'm pretty sure. So what we can do is we can go up by one and we'll have a run through... Well, we cannot go this way. We could have a final run over to the other side and go down all the way over there as well. Go all the way up, go all the way down. And then I think we can be certain that we've seen everything there is to see in the ship for now. But man, you can definitely tell there is still a lot of stuff left to do, and I really hope they will be able to finish it and that more people are going to contribute. But seeing the quality of this demo, I mean, how can you not wish to support this even more, you know? Right, so we are back at the barber. There's no other staircase down anymore. We've been over here. Alright, so That's it for this video and my look at Demo 3 for Titanic Honor and Glory. Please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content. And I'll see you guys for the next video.